Hello guys and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to talk about OpenX AI. This is one of the top gainers today on coingecko, so I thought that I should make a video about it. So as you can see here that it is 382% up. Of course it's a newly listed coin. So uh, let's see what this project is all about, and let's try to understand this project in the details. And before that, just one thing to make it clear that nothing in this video is an investment advice. So now let's quickly jump to their stats before we go to their website. So the market cap is $180 million and the fully diluted valuation is also $180 million. So basically what this means is that the circulating supply and the max supply are the same. So this project is now in the hands of their community. Basically that is what it means. So now if the community members, it is in the hands of the community members to make this project a successful project. The reason being it is in the hands of the community because now no coins are with the team. As you can see, all the supply is in the market. So basically it is right from this point. It is a decentral. You can say that it is a decentralized project. It doesn't guarantee the success of this project. What it means is this that this project now is in the hands of the community. That's it. So now, if the community members do not keep growing this project, I mean, the mostly the community members will be the ones who will be holding these tokens. If the OpenX token holders do not keep growing the project, or they do not keep improving the project, then this project may fail. And that's the point of any cryptocurrency project. Most of the cryptocurrency projects which are successful are driven by the community. Bitcoin is the prime example of that. Although a lot of crypto Bitcoin holders don't even know that they are part of a community, they might not be aware about that community. They are just probably holding it for the gains, but in reality the project is all about the community. So here also, if the community members will not work against each other, meaning that if they cannot keep improving the project, then they will be working against each other. If they do not hold these tokens, then they will be working against each other. That this is what it means when you do not hold the tokens, then they are basically going to work against each other. For example, if the Bitcoin holders stop holding the Bitcoin, then they will be working against each other, and when the community members will work against each other, then the project can fail. That's a reality for any cryptocurrency project. It's a pretty simple math. So here also the key is that the community members should work in favor of each other, and they should be holding these tokens, and they should think about growing the project, because now it is pretty clear that not a single coin is with the team. So this is project is already in the decentralized mode, but now the question is, can this decentralized project survive? Totally depends on the community members, and that's what one has to analyze. So we'll try to understand this concept with the help of the chess game, because chess is also about stopping your own chess pieces from working against each other. So this will make this concept a little bit clear to you guys. So now let's quickly jump to the game. So this is my game only, which I just played before uh, starting to record this video. So here this is my opponent, and he played this move. And now, so in the game of chess, all these moves which are book moves, you can see here the sign that this is a book move. So all these book moves are the moves which allows to create utility for your pieces, and at the same time, this basically stops your own pieces from working against each other. So right from the start, if you see this first move of my opponent, then what you realize is that when he pushes this pawn here, it allows this bishop to come into the game, and also little allows the queen to move a little bit. So the thing is that right now at this point, this pawn was working against this bishop. If you see, if there is no move has been played, then this pawn was working against his own bishop. It's funny, but it's true that this is the art of chess. This is the game. You will have to stop your own pieces from working against each other, and that's why my opponent is simply pushing his pawn here. So this pawn stops working against his own bishop. Similarly, Here also for OpenxAI, if the community members will work against each other, if they will not grow the project, then they will be working against each other. If they will not hold the tokens, then they will be working against each other, and that's going to be a bad thing for the project. So they will have to do collaboration. They will have to think about how they can grow the project together, because it is already a community-driven project. And in fact, the same rule applies for my own NFT collection as well. As you can see, this is my NFT collection. I have just put 5 7 NFTs right now because I want the project to be a little bit scarce, and as the time passes by and the NFTs are sold, I'll be putting more NFTs. But the point is that here also, if the community members, if the NFT token holders will work against each other, if you guys will not uh, hold these NFTs, then you will be working against each other and the community will fail. Ultimately, it is all about the community. So with our NFT collection as well, if you guys will work against each other, if you guys will not hold the NFT collection, then our NFT collection will also fail. So now let's move forward. So here in the game also, we initially played all these book modes. So now here is, you can see this knight has been developed because this knight was working against his own rook. You see now, that's a little bit funny, but this is what the game of chess is all about. Now this pawn, when he in the second move, when my opponent pushed this pawn here like this, now the queen can also come into the game. You know, so this is all about stopping your own pieces from working against each other. So when this pawn was here, then the queen could not be able to come here, right? And after this move, the knight, when the knight comes here like this, then the rook can also gain some more space. This bishop also now is possibly, it can be activated. So this is what all the chess moves are all about. You will have to stop your own pieces from working against each other. So now in the next move, my opponent has played this move. So now this again move is all about allowing this bishop to come into the game, because uh, this pawn was stopping his own bishop from coming into the game. So again, this is all about stopping your own pieces from working against each other, and the same rule will apply for the OpenX AI community. If you guys will do not do the collaboration, if you guys will not become a solid community, then automatically this project will fail. And trust me, there are a lot of projects with similar concepts. So when you are launching a similar concept, then what differentiates a project from other project will be their community. If the community members will work against each other, they will not do the collaboration, if they will not believe in each other, then automatically the OpenX AI project may fail. Again, I am not talking negatively. Just even if you feel what I'm talking is negative, you know deep inside yourself that I'm not talking negatively. I'm just telling you the reality in the best possible way. Because when you I'm trying to tell you what you're already feeling. You also have doubts that if the community fails, you know that this concept is very simple, right? Creating a community-driven, borderless, open AI, and the project, right from the start, it is a community-driven project. So uh, even whoever the person is who launched this project, he simply understands that even after launching an open AI kind of a project, it will totally be dependent on the community, right? So if the community members will work against each other, then the project will not succeed. That's a simple fact. And the same rule here applies for my NFT collection as well. If you guys will not hodl the token in the long term, then our NFT collection will also fail, because NFTs are also all about the community. So ultimately, if you're going to buy it, I'll put the link in the description for my NFT collection as well. But if you're going to buy it, then it's better that you guys hold it with the long term approach. Otherwise, you will also be working against the community members. I mean, our community members. So now let's move forward. So here again, as the game continued, all these book moves are very powerful because it stops my own pieces from working against each other. So now when I push my own pawn here, it allows this bishop to come into the game. Now he is pushing this pawn here, and then I'm doing the castling. So now after castling, my rook can come into the game, right? Before the castling, this rook was basically working against this king, and the king was working against the queen. But the king is safe, and at the same time, the rook can come into the game as well. After that, he puts his bishop now. So you see now this bishop can come here and come into the game just because of the first move, which was this pawn. When my opponent played his pawn here, now the bishop can come here. You see, that's the power of stopping your own pieces from working against each other. So now this bishop is coming into the game, and this is a book move because this stops his own pieces from working against each other. And now when you are putting your bishop here at the same time, this rook and queen, they are now connected. So right now, this before putting this bishop here, this rook was working against this bishop, and the bishop was working against the rook because the bishop was blocking the space for the rook, and it was also blocking the space for the queen to come into this place. So the bishop was technically working against the queen and also working against his own rook. So now the bishop is here, so now the queen can also freely come to this square. This square can come to this square thanks to this pawn, courtesy this pawn on the c4, and at the same time, after putting this bishop here, the rook can also come to this square. So the point is that again the same rule applies. If the community members will work against each other, if they will not have that level of collaboration between each other, in this competitive cryptocurrency market where these kind of concepts are already existing. I have already seen these kind of projects. I mean, I forgot the name, but I have also made some videos about this kind of projects. So I understand that this OpenAI concept, community-driven OpenAI concept, is already existing in the market. But the only thing which can differentiate such projects from its colleagues or similar projects is simply the community. So if the community members will work against each other, if they will not have that level of collaboration, then this project will not succeed. And that's the reason why the key point is to understand the community. The key point is to understand the strength of the community. I mean, if somebody is saying that this project will go to the moon, or they are going to buy a Lambo tomorrow just because of the price pump, then that's a pretty dumb way to run a community. You will have to think about how can you actually grow the project, how can more people, as you can see, it is all about participation. So how more and more people can participate in this project and create value. Of course, sorry, nothing in this video, whatever I said in this video, applies if this turns out to be an exit scam. But even this is not possible right now, because for this project to exit scam happens when a couple of people are running the project. Right now, this project uh, is driven by the community. So if the project is failing, then the entire community is failing. So at least this is not going to be an exit scam, but the entire, if this project fails, then the entire community will fail. So again, the same rule applies here as well for my own NFT collection. If you guys will not hold it, if you guys will not believe in each other, if you guys will work against each other, you are just here for the quick gain. If you think that you are only here for quick gain and you are going to buy it and sell it after 4 or 5 days or 10 days, 15 days maybe, you are going to cash in some profit. If you are thinking in that direction, then it is better to avoid our NFTs, because you will be working against other NFT collectors. You will be working against other NFT holders in our project. So when that kind of approach applies in any kind of cryptocurrency project or NFT collections, the project is more likely to fail than succeed. And the same rule applies here for the OpenAI. So the thing is that you will have to keep analyzing the community. You will have to keep thinking whether the community will survive, whether the community will keep growing or not. So now let's move forward as the game continued. So here I played this move. Again, this is a book move, stops my own pieces from working against each other. And now here, this is a good move, but here the best move, apparently, was simply to play this move, because right now this pawn, which was here, was stopping my queen from coming into the game. And if I put my pawn here, as the engine suggests, So the thing is that once my opponent captures this pawn, my bishop can also come into the game. So right now this pawn was is helping this bishop to come into the game. At the same time, it is also stopping to work against my own queen in the long term. This is the reason why this is the best move. So now my opponent played here this move because right now this queen was stopping this king and rook from working again. You can say that this queen was stopping this rook from coming to this square because rook is in the corner, and when your rook is in the corner it is not much of a help, so you want your rook to come here, and at the same time this bishop also needs to come here, and the thing is that the queen can help the bishop come here. Ultimately the rook and the queen are also stopping each other from working. They're also stopping each other from working against each other, and at the same time this bishop can also come to this square. So now I played this move and my opponent played this move. Now this is a mistake here. Here, this is the best move. Here, this is the best move. Putting his bishop here, which I already told you. Okay, so right now when you're putting your pawn here, it is not much of your help because it is not helping you from stopping your own pieces from working against each other. For example, this pawn is stopping this knight from coming to this square. So if he could have played something, if he could have played his knight somewhere, then also it would have been better. if he would have if he would play a move which would help this bishop come into the game, then it would have been better as well. But when he plays this move, now this bishop still is stopped by his own pawns, because this pawn is stopping this bishop from coming into the good square. Even if bishop comes to this square here, then this pawn will stop this bishop, which will come on the d3, because this bishop, if it comes here, then still this pawn will be blocking this bishop from attacking the king. And if this bishop comes to this square like this, if it comes here, then also this pawn will be blocking this bishop. So ultimately this pawn move has no value because it is not helping his own bishop to develop. So these pawns, all these pawns, because they are in the white squares, they are not helping his own white square bishop to come into the game. And basically you can say that these pawns are working against his own bishop, and they are not letting his own bishop come into the game. So that's the power of understanding that the importance of community, and how important it is for the community members to stop working against each other. Because when you are not holding the tokens, you are basically working against each other and the project fails. So now the thing is that a lot of people who are, or a lot of people who will be working, who want to work in favor of this project, they will also be left into the shadows, because there is no one there to support them. So ultimately everybody will have to work against each other. Ideally, if you think logically, then there will be no community on the planet which won't be working against each other. For example, Bitcoin token holders are also selling the Bitcoin right now when we are talking, but the threshold is very high. So there are a lot of people who are working in favor of the Bitcoin project rather than people who are working against it. So in the simple terms, there are a lot of buyers, a lot of token holders in the Bitcoin community, and far less people who are willing to sell. I mean, the number of Bitcoin token holders is very strong and very high against the people who are thinking about, or who are already selling the Bitcoin at the time of this video. So again, the same rule applies here for the OpenX AI. If the token holders will work against each other, if they will not hold the token, if they will not grow the project, then automatically you can say in the simple terms that they will be working against each other. And the same rule will apply for our NFT collection as well. If you guys will not keep thinking about holding this NFTs, then automatically our NFT collection will definitely fail as well. So ultimately, no project is immune from this fact that the community members will have to work in favor of each other. If the community members will not work in favor of each other, then any cryptocurrency project will fail in the long term, if even if it succeeds in the short term. Now here in this game, this was my move played by me, and then my opponent played this move. I played this move. So now when I'm putting my knight here, now it is right now at this point this knight was working against my own bishop. So my own bishop was having a hard time coming into the game simply because this knight was here, and because this knight was here, it was stopping this bishop. So now when I'm putting my knight here, now I'm giving some space for my bishop to come into the game. So again, the same rule is applying, that your own pieces has to stop working against each other. That's a simple rule, and the same rule will again apply for the OpenX AI community. If you guys will not think about how to, if you guys will not hold the tokens, then basically what it means is that you will be working against each other, and the decentralized community which whoever launched this project has created by launching the project will automatically fail. So uh, you will have to make sure that a lot of people keep coming into the project. They keep adding value to this project. They keep thinking about the growth of this project, because if they do not, it is always a simple case, binary case, 0 or 1. So either it is 0 or either it is 1. So here 0 means people are working against each other and they are not interested in growing the project, or it is 1, people are working in favor of each other, and they are trying to grow the project. So and they succeed. So in the world of crypto also, the things are very binary. It is always 0 and 1. Either the project will fail or either the project will succeed. That's it. There is no uh, thing like stable growth. I mean, it's very difficult to find projects which are stable, except the stable coins. Stable coins are definitely stable, but apart from that, if you try to look for other cryptocurrency project, then those projects are mostly not that much stable. Either they are going up or they are going down. So now let's move forward with the game. So my opponent played this move. This is the best move. I also played this move because my this pawn, when I'm pushing it here, it stops. It allows this bishop to come into this diagonal as well, and it also allows this rook to come into play, because now this entire file will be open, as you can see. So here again, as you can see that simply by pushing this pawn forward, now the rook can come into the game and this bishop can also come into the game. So it is when it was here, it was working against this bishop, because stopping this bishop to come to a6 square, and at the same time stopping this rook from coming to this b2 square in the future. So this pawn was working against these two powerful pieces, because these two pieces contain 8 points, and now after this it has stopped working against each other, and that's the reason why even the engine is saying that this is the best move. My opponent captured it, I captured it, he captured it. Now this is a mistake, and then I'm putting my queen here. Here apparently the best move was simply capturing it. The idea probably is knight takes b5. Let's see what the idea is here. It's a pretty engine centric move. It's a very engine centric and very sacrificial line. Let's not go into this. But after that, my opponent played this move a4, and as you can see now here, you see after pushing this pawn here, now the ultimately which was work that pawn was working against my own bishop, and now that bishop is coming into the play. You see, that's the power of stopping your own pieces from working against each other. And then these were the few moves which were played. Now my opponent has put his queen here, which is again an okay move here. The most, I think, the ideal move here would be thinking about putting his rook here, because it supports this pawn, and this is how the game continued. Here I pushed my pawn here and tried to save my king, and now here comes the magical move. My opponent, when I played this move, my opponent captured it. Now you have to understand the power of using his own pieces against him. You see, this is what the mastery is. So here, when he captured it, so earlier the thing was that if I did not play and I try to move my knight somewhere, I'll show you. If I play a move like this, then what happens is that now my opponent can simply capture this pawn. right? So this is a pretty bad position to be in. Even though engine says this is an equal position, this is not a great position. But here, uh, when I post it, and now you see, I can now capture it. So now the queen cannot come here and attack my king. That's the reason, because his own bishop, he's stopping his queen from coming to this square, which I earlier showed you. Earlier the queen was earlier the here the queen would come here after capturing it, right? And this would be pretty bad thing. I mean, the engine still shows that I can win, but it's not a good position to be in. But after, when I pushed this pawn like this, now the bishop, unfortunately, he did not understand my plan and he captured it. And because he captured it, now I can capture it, and you will know very soon why. Because if he captures this, okay, then I can simply put my rook here, and it will be a checkmate. The king cannot go here, so I directly win the game. You know, it is very dangerous. If you are a very new to chess, then you might not even understand this in the one time, so you will have to watch it again. You can watch it again as well. But here, when I captured it, now I was able to capture it simply because now the queen cannot come here, because this bishop, his own bishop, is stopping his queen from coming to this square, right? So now he puts his queen here because he understood that he cannot capture it. Otherwise, there will be a checkmate, which I just showed you right now, like this. Okay, so he cannot capture the knight. So now he puts his queen here, and now I captured his bishop. If he captures my queen, I can simply capture it with the knight, and I can grab one more pawn. So right now, you will be able to see that I am already two extra pawns up, and one more pawn I will be able to get it. So that's the power of chess. You'll have to use your opponent's own pieces, and you'll have to make them work against each other. That's how you succeed in chess. That's the concept of chess. If your pieces will work against each other, then you are going to lose. If my opponent's pieces are working against each other, then he's going to lose. So whoever cannot stop his own pieces from working against each other is going to lose. And the same rule applies here for the OpenxAI community. OpenxAI token holders, if you guys will work against each other by not holding the tokens, if you guys will work against each other by not growing the project, then automatically the OpenX AI project will fail, and it will have a really hard time to succeed. And again, if you think that I'm lying, that I'm saying the same thing for my own NFT collection as well. If I was lying, then I would not apply the same rules for my own NFT collection as well, right? So for my own NFT collection as well, if you guys will not hold this with the long term approach, then automatically our community is going to fail sooner or later, because you guys will be working against each other. And when you guys will work against each other by not holding the NFTs, then no project can survive. Even Bitcoin cannot survive with that concept. So that's why our NFTs are all about hodl Bitcoin. Because when you think about Bitcoin, the thing is that Bitcoin token holders, they are not working against each other. Most of the hodl Bitcoin hodlers are working in favor of each other, and that's the reason why the NFTs are more like a tribute to the hodl Bitcoin concept, because that's what has made Bitcoin a pretty much a huge success. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, you liked this concept, and you can also connect to me in my Telegram community. The link for my Telegram will be in the description. I'll see you in the next video. You can hit the like button, subscribe to my channel as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.